Hello Akash, Aryan, Rajiv, Nishu. Very good evening to all of you. Good evening Abha, Mani, Piyush, Yatharth, and the rest of you. Rakhi. All right. This is after some time we are starting with a fresh module. It's been a lot of time, speed, distance, boats, streams, and all those things. So now it'll be 4 sessions on time and work, and your syllabus would be over then. Right. Time and work would be an easy one as compared to time, speed, distance. One reason why it appears to be easy is that a lot of things that you use here would be a direct application from of all what you have learned previously, in the sense that I keep saying it's all ratios, averages, all the things, all the concepts are similar. So had I taken it up in the very beginning, you can do that because it's all related, then it would have been slightly tougher that way. But now, since you know a lot of the concepts and you know their applications, the way to use them, should not be too much of a problem. I have put 4 sessions of time and work, and this would probably be the module in which I will be able to finish that up in 2 to 2 hours. Otherwise I generally overshoot all the time. I'll just read your comments quickly and before starting the session, and then yeah, let's do some work, Snehal. That is the agenda. Yes. हमारे 18th के बाद कोई क्लास नहीं है यार, पढ़ाई कर लो, कितनी क्लास करोगे? 18th का कोई क्लास नहीं है. We will keep doing stuff on YouTube. Just be there. You would know what all things we do. So general awareness and everything is definitely going to continue. Plus a few analysis sessions and all. We'll keep doing that. But here there will be no class after 18th. Yes. Pipes and systems would be included in time and work only, Raki. I'll take that up probably in the third one, time and work third. I'll take pipes and systems. It's not a separate topic. Do not worry. It's the same topic, right? So what I'll do is that I'll just first remove myself from here, and then would just tell you a few basics about it. I'm sure all of you know it, but if I don't tell you that, then it will seem as if I just started abruptly. So just very few basic things. Okay, Srinidhi, don't worry about the data, just handle it. क्या करूँ मैं इसमें data का बताइए. Okay. It'll not consume much data, Srinidhi, don't worry. All right. Let's say just the basic thing. If I tell you that there is this guy who does a job in 10 hours and there is this guy B who does a job in 15 hours. It generally is the notation that is used in all the time and work problems, but this is not the way that we generally work on stuff. We generally work in terms of what you generally call as efficiency. So you call it efficiency or you call it whatever method. This just tells me one thing, that when I compare A and B, fine, the time taken is 10 upon 15, that is 2 upon 3. Okay, so A is the guy who is fastest, he is the faster guy. So when you talk about the efficiencies, A is obviously higher. So if you talk about efficiency of A vis-a-vis efficiency of B, then it would be the reverse of it. And I mean, this kind of a relation is something that you've been studying all along. If you look at it, this was the same kind of a relation. Distance is equal to speed into time. So this thing goes up, this goes down, not like that. So that way, number of days goes up, the efficiency goes down, and vice versa. So it's a very similar kind of a relation if you can relate it like this. But for us, what we'll generally do in all such cases is that if you're saying that A does a job in 10 hours and B can complete the same job in 15 hours, we just take the LCM, as you know already. So 10 and 15, the LCM would be 30 units here. So you assume directly that this job would be 30 units. And since A can do the complete job in 10 hours, the number of units that A does daily would be 30 by 10, that becomes 3. And likewise for B, it would be 30 by 15, that would be 2. And this is, if you look at this, is consistent with this. With this thing that we wrote here. Efficiency of A upon efficiency of B is 3 upon 2. So either you can just think of it directly like that. Just I told you, I mean, just what do you need to do? Just take the ratio only, na? So just think of it like that. What is 10 upon 15? 10 upon 15 is 2 by 3. You just reverse it. You get the efficiencies over there. So either you do it like that or you do it like this, whatever way. But since this quantum of work or this extent of work would also be required at times, you can just keep doing it like this. But try and understand, this is nothing different that we are doing here. We are just working on number of units and we are trying to avoid fractions. The same thing could have been done had we said that since A does the job in 10 hours, A's 1 hour job would be 1 by 10, B's 1 hour job would be 1 by 15. So the combined 1 hour job of A and B would be 1 upon 10 plus 1 upon 15, and then you divide it by 1 and you get the same result then. So it's not different from this, but the only thing that we'll do here would be we'll keep doing this. So I'll just ask you a couple of very quick ones, of very quick 2-3 questions, just to see that you are warmed up well, and then we'll proceed on learning something new. Right, so I'm giving you the first one. No, Harit, you have not missed anything, do not worry. Okay, this is your first question, just answer it quickly. Rahul, what have you written? It's too long a message for me to read, I was speaking something. Shivang, I did DI kind of a set on time, speed, distance. Are you not attending all the classes? What else do I do here? I did 9 sessions over there. No, Yogesh, you will have to go to the YouTube channel separately. You will not be notified. Okay, Rahul. Okay, all of you answered this. Wonderful. There's nothing in this, and I just wanted to give you an easy one. What do you do here? A takes 8 days, B takes 12 days. What do you do? 8, 12. What is the LCM of these two? The LCM is 24. So basically you are saying that the extent of the work is 24 units. What is 24 by 8? That is 3 units. What is 24 by 12? That is 2 units. So this is A's and this is B's work. I mean, if you talk about 1 day work. So A in 1 day does 3 units, B in 1 day does 2 units. So if you talk about A plus B together, that will be 3 plus 2, that becomes 5 units. So A and B together do 5 units in 1 day. So what is the work to be done? 24. So the answer would be 24 upon 5, that is 4.8 days. All of you understand that, and it's basic, very basic. There is just one thing that I wanted to tell you here. I mean, if the question is, I mean, I'm sure you're not going to get this question. But still, if the situation is like that A and B's 1 day work is given, what you can also do is, you already know that I am against using the formula and everything, but this is not a formula. This is, I'll just say generalization. You can do this as well. X into y upon x plus y. It comes in handy. I'll show you somewhere. I'll show you a place wherein this is going to come in handy. So in place of doing that, you could also have done this, though this is slightly tedious, but this is important to know it. I'll tell you later in the session why I am asking you to just remember this. So if A's 1 day work, if A's time taken and B's time taken is given, and they ask you to calculate the time that they will take in doing the job together, then it's beneficial. It's good if you know this. How would this be? This would be 8 into 12 upon 8 plus 12. So if you look at this, this is nothing but 96 upon 20, which would be 4.8 only. So we don't need this, but I'll tell you why this is something that I'm telling you. This is a very simple derivation. It's nothing, no formula, nothing. So don't get scared. It's the same thing that we are doing, but remember it in this form. I'll tell you the utility. First, answer this question. Again, a very simple one. Yes, Shivang, I'll do something. Don't worry. Yes, Rahul, you're the first one to answer. Rahul, Dipayan, Yogesh, Vikrant. What happened? The pace went down in this one. It's exactly the same question. Yes, Pankaj, right. Gaurav, correct. Ashutosh, Sandeep, Narsimha, Neeraj. Are you doing it in a little different manner? What are you doing? Why are you taking time in that? I got 40 correct answers there in half a minute, and it's not happening now. Is it different? Swati, Deep, Neeraj, Narsim, all of you are right. Good. Do it in exactly the same manner. What changes here? Just think about that. Dekho, I'll just explain this. Let's call these people, okay, naam bhi nahi dete. Let's say that these two people do that in 12 days and this one person does that in 20 days. So if you talk about 12 and 20, I can, since I work on that thing only, in all these questions I just work on LCM. What I'll do here is calculate the LCM of 12 and 20. You know what the LCM of 12 and 20 is? It's 60. So basically in this question also, I mean, what's happening here? There you were given the data for A, for B, and A plus B was missing, isn't it? This was the question over there. here what they have done is that they have given you data for A plus B, and this B is missing, isn't it? So how is it different? It's not different. What you will do is the same thing, 12 and 20. So LCM is 60. So what does that mean? That the work that I need to do is, or the work that needs to be completed is 60 units. What would happen now? When they are doing it together, they take 12 days. This is what's written. So it means that when they are doing it together means you're talking about A plus B kind of a thing. So when they are doing it together, what is the number of units that they do per day? 60 upon 12, that is equal to 5 units. Talk about this guy. If one of them finishes by himself in 20 days means, let's say that this guy is A. So what is the efficiency of A? 60 upon 20, that would be equal to 3. So I'm doing that same thing, I'm just doing it in the reverse manner. So if you are saying A plus B do 5 units, A just does 3 units. So it means, where do these rest 2 units come from for B? It is the job done by B. So that's 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. Did you get this? It's the same thing. In the previous question we did 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. Here I am doing 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. This is the calculation here. So still it can be done mentally without doing any dirty work. So what you need to do is, B's efficiency comes to 2, and what is the total work? 60. So what would be the answer? 60 by 2, that becomes 30 days over here. Did you get this? It's not at all different. You just need to subtract in place of adding it. So take the LCM and do it. So don't get confused if something like this comes. A question as easy as this, it can come, but if it's a part of a bigger process or bigger problem, you will not use any other method. Fractions, I have not seen them being used anywhere in time and work. It would always be doable by using the LCM method. So if you have to do it mentally, what would you do? 12, 20, LCM is 60. So you divide this 60 by 12 and 20 mentally. You know that the two numbers would be 5 and 3. What is the difference? 2. You divide this 60 by 2 and the answer becomes 30 here. I hope you got this. So the answer becomes 30 units, 30 days. It's an easy one. So the warm up is over. Let me just give you a slightly better one. This is the next one. Look at this. Give me the answer. An issue हो जाएगा उससे भी, but formula मत use करो. Try and understand this. I told you that for a different reason. Remember it, but try and use the LCM approach only. कर सकते हो गौरव, वैसे भी कर सकते हो, but don't just get in that mode. Try and understand. देखो, at times you will realize it's not required. It's required for building something else. For this question per se, you can use any method. This is so simple. No, Savya, that's the Dipayan, Savya, both of you made a silly mistake over there. Ashutosh, that's right. Dipayan, that's correct now. Deep, Yatharth, Aishwarya, all of you are right. Akash, that's correct. Kirti, that's incorrect. Yes, Savya, that's correct now. Good. Braj, Swaranjit, Swati, that's right. Pankaj, that's incorrect. Harit, Snehal, incorrect. Vikas, that's right. Rajiv, Sushant, incorrect. Sasanka, incorrect. Mohit, that's right. Shilpi, incorrect. Pankaj, that's right now. Kirti, incorrect. Vishal, that's correct. Nitish, that's right. Vignesh, incorrect. Sandeep, incorrect. Okay, I'm explaining this. Look at this. Two men together can do a piece of work in 6 days. You know, it's like if one of them finishes the work by himself in 5 days. देखो अब इसमें ना, the problem is that we try and want to use the efficiency method, but since the number of days is not given for them individually, how do you take the LCM and all? This is the major problem with this, na? I mean, if you look at it, LCM method works fine, but how do I use it there? Yes, there is a problem. So if you have to do it the conventional manner, what you will do is that you will assume that the faster guy does the job in X days. So if the faster guy does the job in X days, what would you write? You would do this 1 upon X. So if the faster guy does the job in X days, the slower one would do the job in X plus 5 days. Is this fine with everybody? And then you just solve this equation. I mean, this would be equal to 1 upon 6. That's what you do. Is this fine? Is this how you have done this? Yatharth, there is no restriction of that formula. Yeah, Vishal says he has done the same way. It's a simple equation. All of you can solve this and you can get the answer quickly. What would you get the value of X as? You will get the value of X as 10. Some of you said 15 is the answer. No, 15 is not the answer. 10 is the answer. Be very careful with this. At times you reverse the values. Basically, this value would become 15 and this value would become 10. So at times in a hurry you feel like marking 15 as the answer would be 10, because I am talking about the faster guy. The faster guy is the guy who does the job quickly. So this is a good way of doing it. You can do it quickly like that. It's not going to take any time. But again, the same thing. If it's a standalone question, it's good. But generally these questions form parts of bigger problems or slightly more complicated problems. So the question rises, can we get to this 10 quickly by using some other method? And this is what I am going to teach you now. Listen to it very carefully. Even if you have got the answer, I understand this is a simple one. Everybody would get the answer, but still listen to me. Think like this. When they do it together, they take 6 days. If they are doing the job together, they would take 6 days. Let's call these guys A and B. So when A and B do the job together, they are taking 6 days. So if I double the job, just think about that. Since efficiencies of A and B are different, can you see that the difference is that if one takes X days, the other one would take X plus 5 days. So if I double the job, so if I am saying that A does the complete job and B does the complete job, but since they do it together, they are doing twice the job. So how much time would they take in doing twice the job if they work together? This is, I mean, if I rephrase it, how much time would they take in doing twice the job if they work together? So it would be 6 into 2, that is 12. Now what you need to realize by using common sense is that the faster guy here would take something less than 12 in terms of time taken if he does the job alone, and the slower guy here would take something more than, I don't know what the value is, so it would be like this. This X plus Y would be here and this X would be here. सोच के देखो ना, if I am saying that this job is completed by the faster guy in X days, this job is completed by the slower guy in X plus 5 days. If I tell you that twice the job is to be completed, so how much time would they take? कुछ भी नहीं है. It's much like that weighted average allegation kind of a thing. So you would say without thinking that the number would be somewhere in between. Did you get what I'm saying? I'm saying that let's say a guy does the job in 50 days. I tell you that another guy does the same job in 60 days. Now they do something together, but that job is twice as difficult. So can you tell me just by using common sense how much time would they take? I'm repeating the question. I'm saying a guy does the job in 50 days. Another guy does a job in 60 days. They work together on the job, but the job now is twice as difficult. So can you tell me just by using common sense what would be the number of days taken? It would be somewhere in between. I don't know what. 54 भी हो सकता है, 55 भी हो सकता है, 56 भी हो सकता है, but it would be somewhere in between these two numbers. So I'm using that same logic. I'm just using it in the reverse manner. So what I'm doing is this. I'm just now erasing this screen. What you will do is, in a question like this or in a situation like this, you take this number 6, usko double kar lo, you get 12. What I know is I need to have two values over here, x plus 5. Fine. So basically I know that whatever these two values are, they differ by 5. Use hit and trial and you will get the answer quickly. I'll tell you how do you do that. You have to remember one thing over here as a rule. This is again a generalization. This difference here, let me call that for the sake of explanation A, or let me call that P. This difference between these two values, let me call that P, would be, if I call this difference as Q, would be smaller than this Q. So you just do it like that. So when you do hit and trial in such problems, you take care of this. This can be again proved, but you just remember it like that. It'll work for you. You will understand when you do some such problems. So what you are basically being asked to do here is that twice of this number. So I talk about 12. So I am looking at two numbers around 12 such that 1, they differ by 5, this condition, and 2, this difference here would be less than this difference. What are the two numbers? Tell me, what are the first thing that comes to your mind? I mean, if you just talking about integers, because in all these questions it would invariably be integers. They would not ask you fractions and all. Fractions में थोड़ा बहुत deal करना, I'll tell you, but generally would be like that. So 11, 16 is one set. Yes. If you look at this, और तो कुछ होगा नहीं. This would be 10, 15 as one set. If you make it 9, 14, you can see that this difference here would be 2 and this would be 3. So it will not satisfy this condition that I just told you. So here in this case you can see that it's just two possible values if I talk about integers. So 10 and 15 के combination से I can probably do it, and 11 and 16 combinations I can do it. Now as a rule, remember it, always start checking with values that are not co-prime. So if you look at 11, 16, they are co-prime. 11, 16 co-prime hai yaar, they are never going to give you 12. The reason is simple. I just told you that formula, xy upon x plus y. Why did I tell you that? You use such things in such cases. If I check for 11 and 16, what value would I get? Think 11 into 16 upon 11 plus 16. They are such ugly numbers. How is it going to give me a number like 6? Think about that. It's never going to give me a number like 6. It can only be given by a set of values that are not co-prime, that have got some common factors. So it would be readily identifiable if you just apply a bit of common sense and observation and look around this set. It would be very, very easily observable. आपको कुछ करना ही नहीं पड़ेगा. I'll give you 5, 6 such questions. You will realize that you do all of them in a jiffy. कुछ भी नहीं करना पड़ेगा. If you look for 10, 15, would I use this xy upon x plus y? No. This is easier to check. In fact, I just told you this to realize that this would not be the answer. If you look at 10, 15, how would you check? 10, 15, what is the LCM of 10 and 15? 30. If 30 is the LCM, this 10 wala guy would take, would be how many units? 30 by 10, that's 3. For this 15, how many units? 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. So 30 upon 5 is equal to 6. 6 satisfies. So it means what my numbers are, what are my numbers? They will be 10 and 15. So is asking for the faster one becomes 10. Did you get the methodology? What did I tell you? Logic behind doubling. Akash समझाया तो यार, वही logic है ना. This is 6 days. Fine. If I double it, this becomes 12 days. अगर दोनों को double काम करना होता मिलके, had both of them been asked to do double the job together, fine. So they would have taken 12 days. If they had to take 12 days, their efficiencies would be different. So this number here would have differed by 5. The way I just explained to you by using that example of 50 and 60. Na? If one guy takes 50 days, another guy takes 60 days. If you have to do double the job together, what would be the number? The number would lie somewhere in between. Na? इस तरीके से I'm using that thing over here. Just think about it, you'll understand it. Just understand the method to do it right now. So you think about 6, you think about 12. You have to look at a number here and you have to look at a number here. This difference has to be less than this difference, and this has to be 5. क्या दिमाग में आएगा? कुछ आएगा ही नहीं 10, 15 के अलावा. 10 becomes my answer. You can just answer it in 3-4 seconds. कुछ भी नहीं करना है. Method समझ में आ गया? यार एग्जाम प्रेशर के लिए तो बता रहा हूँ राजीव यार, तुम हर चीज़ में ना सबसे पहले एग्जाम प्रेशर के लिए ही तो बता रहा हूँ यार. इक्वेशन बनानी है बना लो. I cannot do anything. Look at this next one. Whoever understands this, try doing it. आप हर चीज़ में ये बोल देते एग्जाम प्रेशर में कैसे क्लिक होगा यार. हलवा तोड़ना है, मेहनत करोगे तो क्लिक होगा. कुछ क्लिक नहीं होना है, थोड़ा सा मेहनत करो हो जाएगा. अप्लाई तो खुद करोगे यार. आई कैन जस्ट टेल यू, हेल्प यू. पूरा हुआ नहीं एंड यू स्टार्ट विद कैसे क्लिक होगा. Yes, Dipayan, that's correct. Yes, Vignesh, I'm giving you 5-6 questions to practice this now. What I just told you. Yes, Shivam, Dipayan, Pawan. I hope you used what I just told you. Yes, that's the answer. Deep, Sandeep, all of you got this. Indrani. Yeah, Yatharth, that's incorrect. क्या किया है इसके अंदर? And look at what I'm asking. I'm asking about the slower guy now. So you get 2 numbers. I'm asking for the bigger number. Yes, the answer is 28. क्या करना है इसके अंदर? देखो, this is 12, exactly the same question. I know that the difference is 7 and I am asking about the slower guy. So just remember, slower guy means I am talking about the bigger difference. What do? 12 ka double, it's 24. You are looking at a number here and you are looking at a number here. These two numbers differ by 7. Tell me using common sense, which are the two numbers that straight away come to your mind? You always should be on the lookout for numbers that are not co-prime. I cannot think of anything else but 21, 28. हो ही नहीं सकता कुछ और. I'll tell you the reason. देखो, if I make this 22, 29, how ugly would they be? 22, 29. What would be the combined work done? They're going to give me a number like this. 22 into 29 upon 22 plus 29, कुछ cancel नहीं हो रहा. How would they give me an integer when solved? No, हो ही नहीं सकता. Just think about it. I cannot go to 20. If I go to 20, 27, this difference would be less, तो वैसे ही खत्म हो जाएगा. तो 2-3 ही तो ऑप्शन है चेक करने के लिए. And you immediately realize by using that co-prime thing, the hint that I gave you, that has to be 21, 28. So what's my answer? Answer has to be 28. But what I'll still suggest is just cross check it once quickly. How do you cross check it? 21, 28, what is the LCM? It's 84. So 84 divided by 21, it's 4. 84 divided by 22, 28, it's 3. 4 plus 3 is 7. 84 divided by 7, it's going to give you 12. It satisfies, it becomes the answer. I mean, check करना है. It'll take you 5-7 seconds to check. But what I'm saying is that check करने से पहले ही you are like 90% sure that this has to be the answer and cannot be anything else. You got the method now. ठीक है, एक और दे रहा हूं मैं. आकाश, P greater than Q नहीं है. This is greater. So this is P, this is Q. This Q would be greater. Remember this. Don't ask me for proof of this. You can do it yourself. कर सकते हैं, but I do not want to get into this. Use this observation. I'm giving you the next one. Try doing it. Sasanka, don't get into all that. Yeah, don't get into all that. Just listen to what I'm telling you. If there is any other doubt, please put that on the forum. यहाँ पर अभी let's not digress. Try doing this one. Slightly tougher, but you will be able to crack that. Don't get bogged down by the by the numbers. They're easily doable. Very good, Yatharth. You are the first one to answer this. Very good, very nice. Yatharth, Aishwarya, Dipayan, all of you answered this very quickly in absolutely no time. Anand, Ashutosh, Vignesh, you messed it up. Anand, Vikrant, Deep, Yogesh, Gaurav. Chandan, कोई बात नहीं, join कर लो अभी. I'm just explaining, just started. Sunny, Rahul, Dipankar, this is the smaller value that you're telling me. देखो, इसको just be very careful with this one. Since you're trying to do it quickly, you're talking about how much time does the slower one do it. Slower one do it means if you get two values, you're talking about the bigger value over there. Just remember this. कैसे करेंगे? This is 18. Can do a piece of work in 18 days. So which is the value that you're talking about? 18 ka double is 36. So a value here, a value here. What are the numbers? You're talking about a difference of 15. If you just, I mean, just apply yourself a bit, you will realize the numbers cannot be anything else but 30 and 45. It cannot be anything else. And most of the times you will realize that these numbers, there's a good chance, I'm not saying it will always happen, would be multiples of this difference as well. So it becomes all the more easier. They would be, would be having some factors common with this. Otherwise, the calculation would become too complicated. All these questions, would not give you those kind of calculations. So if you look at 15, you realize quickly what this would be. If you look at values like, let's say 31, 46. Again, कैसे होगा यार? 31, 46, 32, 47, all are co-prime sets. Just to look at it, what you do is, you look at this 36, you look at a difference of 15, one number here, this difference less than this difference. Bas. Ekdam se the first set that clicks to you is going to give you the answer. So what would be the answer and how much time does the slower one do it? The bigger number, the answer becomes 45 days over here. Good. Now I'm going to give you one involving fractions. I mean, the same thing involving fractions, so don't think it's something else. It's the same thing, try using it there. But here the actual values would not be fractions because you cannot do them with them there. But here this combined work done is fraction. It happens so many times. Na? For A and B, it's integers, but combined time required is a fraction. So here it's the same case. Try answering this. Yes, Rajiv, that was right. Rohit, Harit, many of you answered that. Paris wale ko answer karo, then I'll understand if it's a great method or not. No, Sushmita, that's not right. Yeah, for the last one it was correct. Yeah. No, Aishwarya. Do not think it's different. That's the key. It's very similar to the last one. Yes, Akash, that's the answer. Nice. Money, that's correct. Dekho, this fraction should not trouble you. Forget it's a fraction and then think in a similar fashion. Savya, that's right. Good. Just forget it's a fraction and then think. Ashutosh, that's right. Vikrant, Siddharth, Akash, many of you got this now. No, Srinidhi, how would you deal with fractions over here? Sushant, that's right. Vignesh, no, you close, but I guess you did not cross check. No, Yogesh, you will not be able to. देखो, मैं इसको बोल रहा हूँ, इसको आपको mentally करना है. How would you deal with it mentally if the numbers involved are integers? It's all about integers. देखो, generally when it's integers, you would know from the options, from the situation of the question, then it's integers. So here it's a fraction now, but again, the time taken by the two individuals would be integers, because otherwise you will not be able to handle that. We are making use of that fact that it's integers, but if this is a fraction, it's not going to create a problem. Achha, how do you think? I'm explaining this. 30 by 7 is approximately what? 4.3. All of you know that. So I know that this value would be double of 4.3 approximately, the value that we had been taking. So it will be like what? 8.6 types approximate value. किसी से भी चलेगा. But you know this, and now you know that the difference here would be 9, isn't it? I will not do anything different. 8.6 ke idhar, where this difference is smaller and this difference is bigger, find two values that differ by 9. What is the set that comes to your mind? Think. I mean, just think. There will be just one set that comes to your mind. Has to be 615. Just think about that. Okay, I'll write some other sets for you. For example, if I write 514, just think. What would you want to check? 716. I'm just writing 2, 3 for you. What would you want to check among that? Has to be 615. That's how you check. I told you, generally would have common factors with this one. So had you not been bogged down by this fraction value, you would have got it immediately. What would you do then? Just cross check it. If I'm talking 15, 6, देखो, in any case, cross checking for integers or cross checking for these values would be easier than cross checking for something like 16 and 7, because they are co-prime. So if I have to check with 15 and 6, what would I do? What is the LCM of 15, 6? 30. So 30 divided by 6 is 5. 30 divided by 15 is 2. What is 5 plus 2? That is 7. 30 divided by 7, it's 30 by 7. Did you get this now? कुछ भी फर्क नहीं है. It's working exactly the same manner. Vignesh, yes, you did not cross check and you did not realize that 5 and 14 are they are co-prime. Fine. So it was again apparent. It was just the first one in fractions. That's why I got confused. I'll do just one last one here in this, again using fractions. एक बार इसको करने की कोशिश करो. Again, don't get confused. It's easy. Might look intimidating. I want the answer from you quickly. This is the last one in this series before I move on to the other things. Yes, Rami, that was right. Rohit, that was right. Answer this one now. I'm asking about the slower one, guys. Most of you did this, but Yatharth, what have you done? You answered this and you messed up. Rohit's the same with you. Yes, Gaurav, Pawan, that's correct. Vivek, Anand, check your answers once. Okay, since I gave you a tip, so you started using that directly, that prime co-prime thing, and that's why you fell into that trap. The answer is not 21, guys. Now tell me the answer. Yes, Gaurav, that's right. Shivam, Pawan, Yeah, that's correct. Many of you saying 21 because you immediately started working on 7 and 21, isn't it? No, that's not the answer. Now correct it. This is incorrect. 21 is not the answer. Yes, Ashutosh, Nitish, that's correct. Swaranji, that's right. Akash, Anand, Ashutosh, all of you are right now. Shivam, that's right. Many of you answered this, half of you answered this. Priyanka, that's correct. No, Chandan, that's not right. Chandan, it cannot be such a big number. Think about that. And I'm asking about the slower guy. So you have to tell me the bigger number. Yes, Dipankar, Saurabh, that's correct. Yatharth, that's correct now. Siddharth, that's right. So this was the toughest of all. If you look at that, this is the toughest of all. But what would we do again? Again, this is 60 by 13. Kitna we are talking about? I mean, it's talking about something like 4.5. Double of this is approximately around 4.5. So we'll be looking at numbers around 9, somewhere here and somewhere here, something like that. What is the difference between these numbers? The difference has to be 14. Now, one reason why I took this specific number is I wanted to induce a mistake from you. Yes, the answer is 20. Most of you got this. Now listen to the explanation. I would tell you something else as well in this particular one. Now, when you look at this 9, since I told you that this difference would be smaller and this would be bigger, it's very natural that one set that comes to your mind would be 7 and 21. It's natural, but the mistake that you did was, I mean, it's okay if you thought about that you did not cross check it. Cross check to karna zaruri hai na. The problem was, I'll tell you why 721 is never going to give you the answer. देखो, अगर 721 होता, again use a bit of observation. Can I get a final value like 60 by 13? सोच के देखो. If it's 721, what would I take the LCM as? LCM would be 21 only. So 21 upon 7, that's going to give me 3. 21 upon 21, that's going to give me 1. So the answer would be 21 upon 4, or if we use that formula that I just told you for this specific reason only, xy upon x plus y. Fine. If you look at that, this is never going to give you a 13 in the denominator. कभी भी नहीं आएगा ना 13. How would it be 13? ये तो सब cancel हो जाने वाला है, because it's numbers that are so beautifully cancelling each other that you would never get a denominator like 13. On the other hand, if I let's say take a value like 5 and 19. For example, I mean, there are a few sets that you have to check, 6 and 20, which eventually gives you the answer. I am saying, why should it be very apparent that the answer would be given by 6 and 20 and not something like 721 and 519? Let's say I talk about 519. When I talk about 519, one guy takes 5 days and the other guy takes 19 days. Use this. It means I am talking about 5 into 19 upon 5 plus 19. Now, what is 5 plus 19? This is whatever it is. Can I say this denominator here is 24? No. चलो पूरा ही लिखते हैं. This is 19 into 5, 95 upon 24. Can a number like 95 by 24, when simplified in whatever form in the word, give me 60 upon 13? I mean, what I'm saying is, I do not need this 95 to figure that out. The moment I realize that this is 24 in the denominator, how would this become 60 by 13? 24 say, is there any way that I can make a 16? No. On the other hand, you can clearly see here that this is 6 and this is 20. 6 plus 20 would give me 26, and 26 say 13 is, I mean, as smooth as it can get. Did you get the logic? The reason why I asked you to remember this is that it would be handy in situations like that. You would realize that when I use this 6 and this 20, what would be the format? 6 into 20 upon 6 plus 20, and this 6 plus 20 fits this 13 thing perfectly. The moment this satisfies, I would not even check. मैं तो कम से कम check नहीं करूँगा, because ये coincidence नहीं हो सकता that this is 13 and there is another set in the vicinity of this 6 and 20 set that's also going to give me a 13. No, yeah, this cannot be a coincidence. This is pure logic, pure and simple logic. So that's the reason why I'll go with 6 and 20 and not with 5, 19, 7, 21. Did you get this? 721 is too smooth to give me a 13 in the denominator. 5 and 19 is too ugly. It's too ugly in the sense that you know that it's going to give me a 24. What I need is a 60 by 13. 60 by 13 means this must be the simplified form, and the actual answer would be something of this form. X, when I do this calculation, it would give me a number of this form, x upon 13 into some number. So I have to have a multiple of 13 as x plus y. So you can also say that whenever it's a fraction, it gets easier. It gets easier in the sense that it's easier for you to identify. What you need to do is, if I have to just look at this question, what I'll do is that I'll clearly realize that this 13 here is the critical number for me. So whatever are my two numbers, one thing is that I know that the numbers would be like this, here and there, like that. But the other thing is that I know that whatever is the sum, for example, this would be this format, na, x and x plus 14. What I know is, also know is that this x and x plus 14 ka sum has to be a multiple of 13. I just proved why. All of you know that why? Because when you have to calculate this xy upon x plus y, it would be like this, x into x plus 14 upon x plus x plus 14. Now you are saying that this is going to become 60 by 13. If this is going to become 60 by 13, the only thing that you need to check is what are the two numbers whose sum is some multiple of this denominator. Did you get the logic? कुछ भी नहीं मिलेगा. You will just get one set and it will be concrete, and that becomes your answer in this. So if it appears as a question, that's good. If it appears as a set of a bigger, more complicated problem, still in that case you will just use this logic. यथार्थ फर्क क्या है यार? इसको आप 4.5 लो, इसको 4.6 लो. आई एम जस्ट लुकिंग एट अ नंबर इन द विसिनिटी ऑफ दिस. दिस इज नॉट एग्जैक्ट 9 यार. क्या बात कर रहे हो यथार्थ? व्हाट आर यू टॉकिंग? I am just talking about taking an approximate value of 60 by 13 and doubling it. If you want, you can write this as 9.1. You want, you can write this as 8.9. I can only work on integers. ना, अगर देखो यहाँ पर integer नहीं होता, I could not have done anything about it. मैं कुछ नहीं कर पाता. But the basic assumption is that in most of these questions, check that for yourself. The number of days that A and B take would be integers, and when they combine, that might become a fraction, as is the case here. ठीक है, चलें आगे. हो गया क्लियर ये कुछ इसमें? Yes, fraction is easier, Snehal. That way fraction is easier, but you need to remember that x y upon x plus y form. Practice using this, you'll get proficient. I mean, there's nothing else to teach in this. I'm giving you another question. Look at that. This is your question. Yes, Savya, you are the first one to answer this right. Very good. Neeraj, that's right. Pankaj, Vikrant, all of you are right, but not many answers. Savya, Neeraj, Vikrant, Pankaj. I'm surprised. You should know this. Not done your homework. Ashutosh, that's correct. No, Aishwarya, it's a relatively smooth number. Yes, Pavan, that's correct. No, Anand, incorrect. Akash, that's correct. Chandan incorrect. Nitish, you're right. Yogesh incorrect. Dipayan, you're right. Shivam, no. What method are you using? Approximately कहने की जरूरत क्यों पड़ी? It means you're using some longish method, not required. No, Chandan, not right. Braja, that's correct. Sandeep, incorrect. Yes, Rami, that's right. Yogesh, incorrect. Rahul, that's right. Mani, incorrect. Sunny, incorrect. Okay, I'm explaining this. Look at this. All of you understand that you need to find the ratio of the efficiencies of A, B, C. I mean, you do this and this would solve the problem. So what would you work on? This is the first statement that you'll work on. Again, we'll use fractions, reciprocals. 14.28%, I'm talking about 1 by 7. 16.67%, I'm talking about 1 by 6. How would you handle this? B is 1/7 more efficient than A. So what would I take the efficiency of A as? 7. So if B is 14.28% more efficient, what would be the efficiency of B? So what would be the efficiency of B? The efficiency of B would be 7 plus 1, that's 8. यहाँ तक तो सब कुछ simple है. Now it says C is 16.67% less efficient than B. But this is worked on a base of 6. So what would you do? You find a number that is a multiple of 6 for B to keep it in integers. What is the most comfortable, convenient thing for us to work on? These are those integers, that's natural numbers. So we'll make it a natural number. So in place of this 7 and 8, can we not write a 21 and a 24? Because the only important thing is the relative numbers. So A7, B8 is same as saying A21 and B24. What would happen in the process is that I'll be able to stay in integers only, and they are much easier to deal with. Now C is 16.67% less. 16.67% less means 1/6 less. So if B is 6, C would be 1 less. If B is 24, C would be how much less? 4 less. अगर B 6 है, then C would be 1 less than 6. If B is 24, C would be 4 times, so that's 20. So these are the numbers. So you get this ratio that you are looking for, and kitna time? Very smoothly, very easily. So 21 is to 24 is to 20. Let's get to the answer now. No ugly calculations again. A can do 40% of the job in 13 hours. It says how much time would the three of them together take to do the job? If A does 40%, 40% is how much? 2/5 of the job in 13 hours. So I'll start with 13. Unitary method hai, kuch nahi hai, it's just unitary method. So A does 40% or 2/5 of the job in 13 hours. So if A has to do the full job, how much time would it take? 13 into 5 by 2. So this would be the time taken by A to do the full job. And this is one step. But now we know the ratio of efficiencies. So what is it? If I sum it up, 21, 24, 20, this gives me 65. So ABC combined efficiency is 65. And what are you comparing it with? You are comparing it with the efficiency of A only. So 21 vis-a-vis 65. So what do I write? 21 upon 65 or 65 upon 21? Obviously when the three of them work together, they would take less time. So the number that you will write would be 21 upon 65, and this is going to give you the answer. This is what? 13, 5, 65 cancel ho gaya. It either becomes 10.5. So it would be 10.5 hours. No dirty calculations, kuch bhi nahi tha. Shivam, that's the reason I was telling you approximately 11 is fine. You can do it using options and all as well. But in a question as smooth as this one, why would you want to get into this one? No dirty calculations, no nothing. The only thing that you need to manage here would be these numbers. So the quicker you manage them, the quickly you get the answer. You look at these two numbers, you immediately write 7, 8. You look at this number, you change them to 21 and 24. So this third one becomes 20. You sum it up, it becomes 65. Fine. So 21 vis-a-vis 65. What's my answer? 13 into इसका रेसिप्रोकल विच इज 5/2 into 21/65 ki 65/21, obviously 21/65 because they will be faster now. So this is going to give you 21/2 hours as the answer. Get proficient these things, and this would happen only if you do all this in practice. Look at the next one. This should be easier, much easier. Ravi, I explained it twice, how 21/65. Please watch it again. Vikrant, that's right. Sandeep, Braja, Ashutosh, Pankaj, Akash, Dipayan, Shivam. Many of you got this right very quickly, and some mistakes. If you have revised the YouTube session, today's session should not be too much of a problem for you. Savya, Pavan, Nitish, Rakhi, Mani, and a few answers that are close to the actual answer but incorrect. You're making some small errors. Please rectify them. For all those people whose names have not spoken out. Yogesh, you're right. Neeraj, Sushmita. Okay, good Ravi, you got this. सब समझ में आ जाएगा यार, एक बार रिवाइज कर लेना अगर थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम है तो. Harit, that's correct. Sujendu, that's right. Good. Anand. Okay. Sushant. Ashish. No, Snehal, still incorrect. Durgesh, that's right. Subhash, Gaurav, both Gauravs are right. Sunny, that's correct. Saurabh, that's right. Vikas, that's incorrect. Yatharth, that's right. No, Chitti, that's not the answer. Vijay, that's right. What would you do in a question like that? Again, the same thing. Please listen to me now. A does that in 10 days. B does that in 6 days. You take the LCM of 6 and 10. That becomes 60 here. So if you talk about the number of units, what does A do? 60. So 60/10, A does 6 units. You talk about the number of units of B, 60/6. Just how much is that? Just a minute. The same work in. Okay, I took the wrong LCM. I think. Let me just do it again. 10 and 6. How am I saying 60? So you take the LCM as 10, 6. It will be 30. So you talk about A's efficiency. There will be 30/10. There will be 3. And B's efficiency would be 30/6, that will be 5. So these are the efficiencies or the work that they do in one day. In how many days would the work get done if they work on alternate days with B starting first? So this is the guy who goes first. So the pattern would be like this. Because this is such a small number that you can track it manually. How? First day 5, then 3, then 5, then 3, then 5, then 3. It will go like that. इसमें तो गलत होने का कोई चांस ही नहीं है ना. This is a set of 8. This is a set of 8. This is a set of 8. This is right now here we are at 24. You know that what would happen then? This guy would 5 come. So it would be 24 and then this 5. How much is that? That is 29. So till this point, this is the 7th day. You can see that it is 29. And what would happen then on the 8th day? How many units are left? This is 29 units already. Total work is 30 units. Just 1 unit is left. And this guy who comes here does 3 units in a day. So since just 1 unit is left to be done and this guy does 3 units, so how much or what part of the day would he give? Just 1/3. So what would be the answer? This part would be here if you look at that, this 24 units is done in 6 days. After that, 1 day of this guy B who does 5 units plus 1. Rest of it is 1 by 3. So the answer would be 7.33 or 7 whole 1 by 3. But this is not how you are going to do it. No, this is not to be done. You will just do it directly because this number could have been much larger. So what you will do is this thing. Look at this 10, 6, you know that the work to be done is 30. Who's the guy that's starting? The guy that's starting is B. So you know for BA the pattern would be like that it starts with 5 and then it's 3. So 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, it goes on like that. So one thing that you know is that 5 plus 3 is equal to 8 units. This is 8 units per 2 days. Fine. This is the important part over here. Fine. So one thing is that you need to know आपको यहाँ पर कितना scope रखना है for the last guy to finish the work. I mean, what you cannot do over here is that you just divided by 30. मतलब I mean ऐसा नहीं करना that you do it by like this 30 by 8 and into 2 divided by 2. No. You don't do this because they are working on alternate days. If they are working on alternate days, what you do is just find the whole number while dividing. So when you divide 30 by 8. So when you do this 30 by 8, you just look at it like this, that this is 3 full cycles if you divide it by that, and 3 full cycles would be of 2 days each, plus how much work is left, then 6 units left. I mean you just look at it like that. So 3 full cycles means how many days? 6 days. Why is it 6 days? Because per 2 days they do 8 units. So it means that 24 units would be done in the first 3 cycles, that is in 6 days. After that, it's 6 units, just handle them manually. The first guy comes, he is the first guy to come, he'll do 5 units. So 5 units done. How many units left now? Just 1 unit left. So this 5 unit would be done by B in how much time? 1 day. So 6 plus 1 to ho hi gaya. And after that, only this 1 unit left. So this 1 unit would be left, that is left would be done by this guy A, who does 3 units a day. So 1 unit to be done by the guy who does 3 units a day. So how much time? 1 upon 3. So the answer would be 7 whole 1 by 3. It's an easy one. I've done similar ones on YouTube. Should not mess it up. I mean, the only thing that you can do is a silly error. Look at this one. This is a demolition case. You have done this also. Do it carefully. I mean, बहुत आसान questions हैं. They are very easy, but the only thing that you can do is make a silly mistake somewhere. Rahul incorrect, Sandeep incorrect, Srinidhi incorrect. Okay, Pankaj I think is the first one to answer this, right? Guys, this is the case of demolition. It's very tricky. Yes, Neeraj, that's right. Good. Sunny, you are right. Yogesh, Aishwarya, Vikrant, no. Okay, who else? Pawan, you got this right. It's tricky. I'm telling you, this demolition case is tricky. All of you know the answer, but you still. Yes, Pankaj, probably for the first time you gave the first correct answer. Really happy for you. Very good. Akash, that's right. Okay. And many silly errors over here. Guys, this is the case of demolition. It's a special case. All of you know that. Most of you are making a silly mistake over here. Yatharth, that's correct. Vignesh, it cannot be that small a number. Think about it. Par, that's right. Shivam, that's correct now. Anand, that's correct. No, Dipayan, you are close but not right. Rami, Priyanka, incorrect. You're making a very basic mistake over here. It's demolition. You just cannot divide it like that. Swati, that's correct. No, Vishal, that's not right. I'm seeing everybody's answers, Vishal, don't worry. Vikrant, that's correct. Correct now. हाँ पंकज जी वही है, दिस इज दैट मंकी क्लाइंबिंग द पोल वाला क्वेश्चन ओनली. आई मीन इट्स एग्जैक्टली दैट सेम क्वेश्चन. Nitish, Ravi, that's correct. No Deep, Nitish, that's right. Yeah, Shivam, I understood why you got 108. I understood why people got 120. All these are expected answers, and believe me, all of them would be there in the answer options. Dipayan, that's correct. Now Rajiv, a small mistake over there. Anup, no. Surjendu, no, not correct. Anand, that's right. Sandeep, that's correct. Who else? Okay, and many incorrect answers here. Yes, Ravi, that's right. Chandan, that's correct. Yes, Gaurav, that's incorrect. Okay, I'm explaining what would happen in this case. You know that A would build it in 10 days and B can demolish it in 12 days. So basically, again, LCM to lena hi lena hai. So when you take the LCM of 10 and 12, it comes to 60. Fine. So 60 units is the total work. So how much work would A do in one day? So 60 by 10, so that would be 6 units, but I'll call it plus 6 because it's about positive and negative work here. So A does plus 6 units. How much work does B do every day? 60 by 12, that's 5. But I will call it minus 5. Why I am calling it minus 5? Because B is the guy who is demolishing the work, who is demolishing the wall, who is destroying the work. So it's a cycle. A comes first. Obviously A has to come first because A has to build a wall for B to be able to break it. So after 2 days, this is a 2-day cycle. So after 2 days, what would happen? This would be a net of plus 1. Now just tell me, the moment you look at it, you cannot come up with answers like 8, 10, 50, 60. I mean, you just have a brief idea. When you are saying the total work is 60 units, you just get 1 unit of work in every 2 days. So if somebody says 120, I can understand because you can directly say that 1 unit of work done in 2 days. So for 60 units, the answer would be 60 into 2. That's the reason behind 120, but you forgot that demolition does not work like that. I'll explain why. But what you should realize is that answer cannot be anything else apart from a number close to 110, 120 and all. Now, how does it work? For this question, for this type rather, what you should do is, as a thumb rule, as a rule of thumb, what you can do is just simply subtract the work of the guy who is doing the positive thing from the total work. I'll explain that why. So what you will do first is this 60 minus 6, this 6 here. The work of the guy who is constructing is to be subtracted from the total work so that you do not get confused in this. So basically, you just first calculate for 54. I mean, what I'm saying is that at this rate, plus 1 unit or 1 unit every 2 days, you first calculate it for 54 units. Is it okay? इसमें तो कोई problem नहीं है. There you can use that logic. So 1 unit done in 2 days. 54 units done in how many days? So there will be 54 into 2, that is 108 days. This is fine. Now let's come to the part, why did I ask you to do that? What would happen on the 55th day? Or what would happen on the, 109th day? Where are you? You are exactly at 54 units of work. What is the work done by A in 1 day? The work done by A in 1 day is plus 6. So when you are already at 54, A would come and add 6 units to it, and this becomes 60. So I mean, here the underlying assumption in all these questions is that once you have done this, once the wall has been constructed or the pole has been climbed or whatever, then the demolition guy is shooed away. He is not going to do that. So I mean, for all practical purposes, you can just think of this question as saying, when would the wall be completed for the first time? I mean, हो गया ना, ये पूरा हो गया, cycle पूरा हो गया. So basically, what you need to remember here is that the last job or the last person to work on this assignment would be the guy who is doing the construction wala job. If you calculate it for 120, it would again come to 16 units of work only. But वो तोड़ फोड़ के आएगा. you basically in all these questions would calculate when would the wall be completed for the first time. So for that you just, I mean वैसे इसको hidden trial से करना would be a little tricky. Just subtract this work from the total work, calculate it and then manually add it. It's always going to give you the answer and always going to give you the answer very quickly. इसमें कुछ भी गलत नहीं होगा. राजीव आपने 5 subtract कर दिया, 6 करना था, इसके लिए you messed up. Just remember this, subtract the work of the guy who is doing the constructive work. Why do you do that? Because I mean if the question is why do we subtract this, we subtract this because this is the maximum that he can finish on the last day. So if you do this, उतना तो बचेगा ही बचेगा. Now this could have been a fraction as well. I mean I think on YouTube when I took a question like this, it was a fraction there, I don't remember. Fine, so it could have been fraction, but what you can do to be safe is that just subtract this work and it would not give you an incorrect result. And after that you can use this 1 unit of work 2 days, so 54 units of work this many days, and after that just track it for the last 1 or 2 days and it would make your job simpler. You got the way to do it because all of you must have realized your mistake, but the challenge would be how to fix that. So the way to fix would be from the total work subtract this work and then work on it and then track manually. You would never get it incorrect. Do the next one. This is your next question. Should be easy for you. Yes, Gaurav, pipes and systems is not a separate topic. Don't think it's a separate topic. It's the same topic. कुछ फर्क नहीं है. No, Piyush, at 54 units, wall is not first built. Wall is first built at 60 only, but we'll track using 54. Yes, because starter guy would always be the positive guy, na? Because what would the demolition person do if there is nothing to break? That's the reason. Vikrant, incorrect. Deep, incorrect. Yes, Akash, you are the first one to answer this right. And then Anand, and then Aman. Pankaj, you have made a slight mistake over here. Nitish, you are right. Okay. Who else? Vikrant, it's correct now. Yatharth, that's right. Gaurav, that's right. Okay, which Gaurav? One Gaurav, the one who says 4 is incorrect. 4 is not the answer. Some of you are saying 4. 4 is not correct. Savya, you're right. Akash, that's incorrect. That's correct. Akash, that's right. The second Akash. Sandeep, that's correct. Srinidhi, that's correct. Priyanka, that's right. Swati, that's no, that's not correct. Okay. Pankaj, that's right. Saurabh, incorrect. Dipayan, incorrect. Rami, incorrect. Aishwarya, incorrect. Par, incorrect. Ashutosh, you are right. Shivam, that's right. Bishal, you are close, but that's not the answer. Narsimha, incorrect. Yes, Vikrant, that's what I thought. Shilpi, Durgesh, incorrect. Yogesh, you are right. Neha, incorrect. This is 20 by 3 hours and this is 15 by 2 hours. So nothing changes if they are not integers. Not much difference. Yes, Dipayan, that's right now. And who else? Sunny, that's correct now. This is it, and many incorrect answers. Okay, concentrate, listen to me now. So A can do this in 20 by 3 hours and B can do it in 15 by 2 hours. So what you can do simply in all these questions is just take the LCM of the numerators and do not even worry about taking the LCM of the fractions. For that you will have to take the LCM of numerators, HCF denominators. It would generally be 1, but for the sake of simplicity just take the LCM of the numerators. So when you take the total work here, so it's not the LCM that I am talking about, because in some of these questions it might happen that I might not take the LCM, but for the sake of simplicity just take the LCM of the numerators as the total work. So 20, 15, what can I take the total work as? The LCM of 15 and 20, that is 60. So that becomes my total work over here. Now if I have to divide this this total work by A's work, so this would be the calculation, 60 divided by 20 by 3. So how would I do it quickly mentally? If some of you have problem doing that, what you do is you divide this 60 by this 20. This 60 is to be divided by the 20. You get 3. Fine. If you just do this calculation, 60 by 20, what do you get? You get 3, and then multiply it with this one. So you can just do it directly like that. So it will be 9. So if you talk about A's 1 day work, that would be 9 units. Likewise, if you have to divide 60 by 15 by 2, how do you think? 60 by 15 is how much? 4. 4 into 2 is 8. I hope you can get this quickly. So I do not want you to waste any time in arriving at this thing. Work is equal to 60 and A's 1 day work is 9 units and B's 1 day work is 8 units. So this should not be a problem. These are things that we study in school. Fine. After that, it says in how many hours would the wall be built if A joins B an hour after B starts the work. So it's simple only. Total work is 60. For the first 1 hour, just B works. So what would be the work left when A joins B? What would be the work left? So it would be 60 minus 8, that is 52 units. So 52 units is the work left the moment A joins B. So before that, B has finished off 8 units in 1 hour. So what would be the time taken? A and B together do how much in an hour? This is about hours only. Yeah. So A and B would do 17 together. Fine. So 52 by 17 is the time that they would take from the time when A joins B. So this is the time that they take together when they work together, that they would take after they start working together. But before that, B has worked for 1 hour alone. So this would be this plus 1. So the answer would be 4 whole 1 by 17. And if you did not get this right, there is a serious problem. We have done this, and this is a very basic time and work question. Very basic question. Look at the next one. Be careful with this one. Atul, you do not need to remember the conventional method. Bhul jao. Even I don't remember it. Aishwarya, then I missed your answer probably. Sorry for that. It will do the job for you, Atul, don't worry. Yes, yes, yes. More than sufficient. No, Vikrant, that's not right. Yogesh, incorrect. Okay. I'm just waiting for the right answer. I'm yet to get it. No, I don't think anybody has given me the right answer as yet. Yes, so Akash is the first one to answer it right. Very good, Akash. Guys, check your answers. Everybody is incorrect. I told you it's a tricky one. Get this right. Yes, Dipayan, that's right. Just 2 correct answers now. Please read carefully what's written over there. 2 days before the work was supposed to be completed. No. Many of you are saying 72 by 11, and you are in consensus over that. So many of you, but that's incorrect. Please read the question carefully. What does it ask you? 2 days before the work was supposed to be completed. Yes, Vikrant, that's the correct answer. Sandeep, that's right now. Gaurav, that's correct. Yes, very good. I got a few answers now. All of you would get it. Just give it one more minute. Think about it. You're making a very basic mistake. No, because 72 by 11 is not the answer. I just told you. So many of you got this. Yeah, Par, that would be the way of doing it. हाँ संदीप, आई कुड रियलाइज दैट कि आपने अलग लिख दिया उसको, बट यू हैड प्रॉबेबली वर्कड ऑन इट ऑलरेडी, बिकॉज अदरवाइज आपके नंबर्स मैच नहीं होते. नो यथार्थ, आई थिंक देयर इज अ स्मॉल मिस्टेक. Siddharth, no, that's not right. Harit, that's incorrect. Around 90 people are present here. I got 5 answers here. That's bad. Ravi, that's right. Good. Chandan, that's correct. No, Chandan, I think you made a calculation mistake. That's close, but that's not correct. Yes, Ashutosh, that's the answer. Good. Vikas, nahi, that's not right. Guys, you are not revising. I have again done this similar question on YouTube. Neeraj, that's correct. Ashutosh, now you know the meaning. Supposed, देखो, when I say before the work was supposed to be completed, इसका मतलब क्या है? Let's say, I don't know when they are going to do it, what they are going to do. If I am saying that a work needs to be completed by 15th of May, just try and understand what we are saying. So dates would be like that: 12, 13, 14th, 15th. What it means is, please understand, please listen to the explanation now. The date goes on like that. I'm not calculating anything here. I'm just looking at what actually happened. Let's say some job needs to be completed on 15th of May. This is the meaning of supposed to be completed. What does this guy do? A. He says he worked on 12th, 11th, 13th. What does he do? He says, I'll not work on 14th, I'll not work on 15th. This is the exact thing that has happened. What does the other guy do? He keeps working as usual. So B was present here, B was present here, B was present here, B was present here, and B would be present even going beyond 15th. And why would B be present even going beyond 15th? Because this other guy A ditched him on the last 2 days. So can I say, I mean, again, I'll not get into the conventional method of it. We'll try and find a shortcut. Can I say that they would be required, or B would be required to continue beyond 15th only because A did not do his job for these 2 days, 14th and 15th? These are hypothetical dates, but it's good to understand. The job was to be finished on 15th, but this guy A did not do his job for 2 days, 14th and 15th. Who would compensate for it? There is just one guy left, this poor guy B. He would compensate for it, and whatever time he takes in compensating for this lost job because A left early would be the additional time. So how would I work on this? Just think of it like that. 10 and 12. What is the LCM? That is 60. So it's 60 units of work that needs to be done. What is the work that A does? 60 by 10, that's 6 units. What is the work that B does? 60 by 12, that is 5 units, right? And had they completed on time, had A not left, how much time would they have taken? 60 upon 6 plus 5, that's 11. So they would have taken this much time. So what I am doing is something else here. I am saying, I'm talking about this date 15th only because that's easier to explain. So I am saying, if they were to finish the job on 15th only, they would have taken 60 by 11 days. Kahan se start hua? I am not bothered. I know if they had to finish on time on 15th, they would have taken 60 by 11 days. Now I just explained that A left his 2-day job. So when we came to the end of this date 15th, what would be left? It would be A's 2-day job that's left. What is the quantum of that work? What is A's 2-day work? A's 1-day work is 6. So what is A's 2-day work? 6 into 2, that's 12. So this is this 12 units of work that is left after 15th that needs to be taken care of by B now. At what rate does B work? B does 5 units of work daily. So how much time would B take in doing these 12 units? 12 by 5 and this becomes your answer here in this case. I mean इससे आसान इसमें कोई तरीका ही नहीं हो सकता, or you can do it in multiple ways, but this is the easiest. B beyond 15th would just compensate for the work that has not been done by A. So how much work did A not do? 12 units. This 12 units would be completed by B in how much time? 12 by 5. So you add the two, you get the answer as 432 by 55, or this is how much? 7 whole 47 by 55 days. This is the quickest method of doing it, and in fact in the next 2-3 sessions I will do some questions in which we would work on a similar concept. So you could have just calculated the work and find the deficit and all that, you could have done that, but I find it the quickest. What you will do is 10, 12, LCM is 60, fine, number of units 5 for this, 6 for this, 5 for this, this is 60 by 11, normal time. How much work does A left? 6 into 2, 12. What is the rate of B? 5. This becomes your answer. I mean इससे तेज नहीं हो सकता ना कुछ भी और. So this becomes 432 by 55. So I know many of you got this, but try getting it like this as well. Yes, Piyush, you answered correctly. Look at this one. Rami, I explained 12 by 5 2 times. Please watch the recording now. 12 is the work left, 5 units is what B does every day. So 12 upon 5. Yes, Anand, that's right. Vikrant, that's right. Yogesh, that's correct. I got quick answers, very quick answers. Good, Rami. Gaurav, this is different from the previous one. Please realize the difference between these two questions. This is different. Yes, Pankaj, that's right. Good. Neeraj, that's correct. No, Akash, that's not the answer. Akash, that's right. The second Akash, that's right. Now I don't know how to differentiate. No, Ashutosh. Sandeep, incorrect. Yatharth, that's close. I think you're making a calculation mistake. Sandeep, that's incorrect. Srinidhi, that's incorrect. It's not the same as the last question. Please read the language carefully. Yes, Akash Oja, your answer was incorrect and the second Akash was right. Okay, Yatharth, that's right. Priyanka, that's close, that's not right. Nitish, that's right. Ashutosh, that's right. Yes, Rahul, that's the answer. Harit, that's the answer. Very good. No, Rajiv, that's not correct. Rajiv, it's not same as the last one, it's different. Read it carefully. What it tells me is this. In a nutshell, A worked less than B. कितना फर्क है? A worked for 1 day less than B. You work on this and then you get the answer. Yes. Shivam, that's right. Yeah. Yatharth, it's okay. यहाँ गलतियाँ कर लो, it's fine. Otherwise, don't do it. Right, I'm explaining this. If you look at these two numbers, 2 whole 6 by 7 and 3 whole 1 by 5, you know what these numbers are? They are 20 by 7 and this is 16 by 5. So these are the two numbers. A number A can complete it, the work in 20 by 7 days and B can complete it in 16 by 5 days. What would you do? You just take the LCM of the numerators. So what would be the total work? If I just take the LCM of the numerators, it will be the LCM of 20 and 16, that would be equal to 80 units. So let me assume that the total work that he needs to do is 80 units. You calculate the 1 day work of A. How would you do that? 80 by 20 is 4. 4 into 7 is 28. So we can just do it mentally. You talk about the 1 day work of B. 80 by 16 is 5. 5 into 5 is 25. So that's how you get 28 and 25 here. Now what would happen? देखो इसको हम reverse manner में करेंगे. What you know is what exactly is happening. I'll just give you that example of dates only. 13th, 14th, 15th. Now here I'm not talking about the date on which the work was supposed to be completed. I am talking about the date on which the work was actually completed. Understand the difference between two questions. In how many days was the work completed if A left exactly a day before the work was completed? Let me assume that the work was completed here at the end of the of this date, 15th of May, the work was completed. It means that for this last day here, who worked? Only B. And before that, for this whole period, who worked? A plus B. This is the meaning. So it's different from the previous question. What do I look at here? I look at the day on which the work was completed. So if the work was completed on 15th of May, B must have worked on 15th of May all alone. And before that, I'm not bothered how many days were there. A and B must have worked together. What would I do then? I'll just take the total work. Total work is 80. What is the work that B would do in one day on this last day? 25 units. So 80 minus 25 is 55 units. So what does that mean? This 55 units of work must have been done by A and B together before the last day. So how much time would they take? Just divided by the total work done by A and B in one day. So A and B, A does 28, B does 25. So when they do it together, A and B together do how much work? 28 plus 25, that's 53 units in a day. So they do 53 units per day together. And how many units are done by them before the last day? It's 55 units. So how much time must they have taken? 55 upon 53. So this has to be 55 upon 53. So this is the time that they take before the last day. So what's the answer? 55 upon 53 plus 1. So this becomes 2 whole 2 by 53 days. I hope you realize the difference between the two questions. So these are three similar questions. The first one that I did, and this is very similar to the first one that I did. So first one and this third one are similar, second is different. In fact, that's the easiest. It looks very intimidating, but it's the easiest. And this is very similar to the first one. Why is this similar to the first one? If you look at it, had I said, I mean, just imagine what's happening here. Had I said B works for one day, fine, alone, and then A joins him, the answer would have been the same. Are you getting me? In this question, what did I say? A left exactly a day before the work was completed. In place of this, had I said B starts the work for one day, one full day, and then A joins him, how much time would it take? So the answer would exactly have been the same. What would be the difference? Here in this case, A and B start and then B finishes it. In that case, B would have done the job for one day, and then after that, A and B together would have worked for how much time? 55 upon 53 days. It will remain the same. So try and understand how this is similar to the first one, and the second one was different. So second has to be done by the way I told you, and these two, first and third, have to be done this way. Yes, Durgesh, I must not have read that. Alright, I am giving you the next one. Look at this. This is the next question. Today we are going to finish on time, definitely. I am not going to extend the sessions in the last few days. Yes, Shivam, reciprocals are very important. I can see that you are not responding at the same pace now. And you know the speed goes down the moment you leave all these things. So get cracking again. Now do this very elegantly, no dirty calculations, nothing. Atul, I did not get your question. Where? So Sandeep answered this first. Good, Sandeep. Rest all are incorrect. I'll just tell you whoever answers this right. So Sandeep answered this. Very nice. Very good. Aishwarya, that's right. Good. Anand, that's correct. Seve, that's right. Vikrant, that's right. No, Rahul. Yogesh, that's correct. Shivam, that's right. Nitish, Sushant, incorrect. Ashutosh, that's right. Shivam, just give me the answer in fractions. Why are you converting them to these decimals? Using some other method? Is that? But many incorrect answers. What are you doing in this? Okay, then it's fine. Pankaj, no, that's not correct. Yogesh, just 2-3 questions left. I'll finish within 2 hours today, don't worry. Yes, Pankaj, that's what I was looking at. No, Chandan, that's not right. Akash, that's correct. Swati, Sunny, incorrect. Guys, just work on efficiencies. No, we do not need to do anything special. Okay, I'll explain this. Look at this. What are you comparing? Please pay attention. A and B and C. You are comparing this. So if I look at this, A and B plus C together, this is what I am comparing. So if it says A takes 4 times the time taken by B and C together, it means what? If the efficiency of A is 1, efficiency of B and C together would be 4, isn't it? That's the meaning. A takes 4 times the time taken by B and C together. So if A takes 4 times the time taken by B and C together, the efficiency of B and C together would be 4 times the efficiency of A. So this is what I know from the first statement. Look at the second one. C takes 5 times. So again, if the efficiency of C is 1, what is the efficiency of A and B together? That would be equal to 5. But the problem here is that they are not consistent with each other. So in isolation, this is correct, this is also right, but they are not consistent. They are not consistent for the simple reason that if you look at this, what is the total efficiency? If you look here, that would be 1 plus 4, 5. What is the total efficiency here? 1 plus 5, that is 6. It means what? You would just multiply this system by numbers so that it becomes consistent. What would you do then? You have to multiply this whole system with 6 and this whole system with 5, and then this would become consistent. So when you multiply this with 6, this becomes 6, this would become 24, and this would become 30. Likewise, if you multiply this with 5, this would become 5, this would become 25, and this would become 30. And now you can see that everything is consistent over here. If everything is consistent, now you know your answers. What is the efficiency of A? It's written over there, here. This is 6. What is the efficiency of C? That's written over here. That's 5. And what is the efficiency of B then? You know the combined efficiency. This is what? A plus B plus C, and this last part here or here, wherever. So what is the efficiency of B? 30 minus 6 minus 5. So that becomes 19 over here. So this is what you needed. It says, in how much time can B do the job alone if the three of them together can do it in 1 hour 30 minutes. So 90 minutes when they are doing the job together, you'll just compare. When three of them are doing it, they do it with an efficiency of 30. When B alone is doing it, he is doing it with an efficiency of 19. So 30 vis-a-vis 19. So how many hours do they take when the three of them work? 1.5 hours. So I'll write this as 3/2. So how much time should they take, or how much time should B take to do it? 30/19 or 19/30? Has to be 19/30. Has to be 30/19, because B would take more time. So the answer becomes, how much is this? This is 15, and this becomes 45/19, or 2 whole 7/19 hours. This is your calculation here. So this is the, if you look at this, this is the complete calculation over here. But when I am doing it in an exam, I would not write all this. This is just to explain how would I do it quickly. I'll look at this. So what I'll do at the most is this. Efficiency of A is 1. If you have to write it like that. BC is 4. Fine. Likewise, C is 1. AB is 5. You quickly realize that you will need to multiply this part here with 6 and this part here with 5 to make them consistent. So it means what? A ka kitna ho jayega? A would be 6, C would be from here 5, and what would be left here? Then that would be 30 minus 11, and so you get B as 19. So you would not write that everything here, B plus C, A plus B properly. No, it's not needed. How do you get this 19? It would be 30 minus 6 minus 5. And where does this 30 come from? 1 plus 4 is 5, 5 into 6 is 30, or 1 plus 5, 6 into 5 is 30, whatever way. So the answer in that case again would be 3/2 into 30/19. This becomes your answer over here. Just try and think of it mentally like this. Don't do too much work writing on paper and stuff. Now I am giving you a very similar one. It's a very similar one. Harit, which step did you not understand? Tell me. I'll repeat that. I already repeated it. I'll repeat almost everything. Three by two step. 3/2 is nothing, yaar. Kahan par ho, Harit? What are you doing? This is 3/2, yaar. If the efficiency of B is 19, if the efficiency of A plus B plus C is 30, if A plus B plus C take 3/2 hours, how much time would B alone take? 3/2 into 30/19. Basic unitary method that we have been doing for months now. Look at the next one. This is your next question. Don't do any fancy calculations, just think in a similar fashion. Shivam, I'll wind up by 11 today, don't worry. Is it because of the storm? No battery, no light? Okay, another 15-20 minutes, 15 minutes. Yes, that's right, Gaurav, that's correct. Gaurav, Aishwarya, Shivam. But who was the first one to answer? Pankaj again. Pankaj, it's your lucky day today. You're working hard यार. Good. I'm happy, Pankaj. Luck कुछ नहीं होता यार, मेहनत सब कुछ होती है. Luck favors the brave. Must have heard that. Yes, Ashutosh, that's the answer. Very good. नहीं पंकज, सारे दिन अच्छे होंगे. अभी अच्छे दिन शुरू होने चाहिए ना. नो, इट्स द टाइम फॉर अच्छे दिन नाउ. अच्छे दिन आ गए विद SBI. 2 एग्जाम्स टुगेदर, क्रैक देम बोथ. Yes, Rahul, that's correct. Good. नहीं, हम मोदी जी वाले अच्छे दिन की बात नहीं कर रहे, हम SBI वाले अच्छे दिनों की बात कर रहे हैं, आशुतोष. नीरज, दैट्स राइट. Dipayan, that's correct. Priyanka, that's right. Anand, that's right. No, Yogesh. The answer is a very smooth, simple integer. No, Yogesh. Both Yogesh are incorrect. Vikas, that's correct. Sandeep, no. Piyush, Gaurav, incorrect. Rohit, incorrect. Yes, Saurabh, that's right. Sandeep, that's right. It's very similar to the last one. If you realize, just the comparison is different. But does that make your job tougher? No. Yogesh, that's correct now. Kirti, incorrect. Rohit, incorrect. Rami, incorrect. Swaranjit, incorrect. Gaurav, incorrect. Okay, listen to it. I am explaining. Please pay attention. Dekho, it's very similar to the last question except for the fact that we are comparing something else. What are you comparing here? A and B with A plus B plus C. So I'll just first give you the complete explanation. So from the first one, what can I see? If you are saying A and B, AB take 50% more time. So what is the ratio of the time taken? AB take 3 days, then ABC would take 2 days. This is the kind of ratio that we are talking about in terms of time taken. So in terms of efficiency, what would it be? It would reverse. So what you can say is if this is 2, A and B do 2 units, then this would do 3 units. How can I think of them directly? Because if A, B, C do a job in 2 days, A and B would do that job in 50% more time, that is 3 days. So in terms of efficiency, it will be reversed, because for me the only important thing is 2:3. The moment I realize 2:3, I know that 3 has to go to A plus B plus C. Likewise, look at this one. This is B and C take 8/3 times the time taken by A, B, C working together. So the ratio of B plus C and A plus B plus C, you know, has to be 8/3 or 3:2 or 3/8. So when you know it's 3/8 or 8/3, you can just write it directly. This has to be less and this has to be more. I mean, कुछ सोचना ही नहीं है ना उसके अंदर, that if efficiency of one of them one of the two groups BC and ABC has to be less. It can be less only for BC together. So B plus C has to be 3 and A plus B plus C has to be 8. What would you do now? Again make it consistent. So you multiply this complete system with 8 and multiply this complete system with 3. Why? Because then it would become consistent. Why did I multiply with 3 and 8? Because of this 3 and this 8. What would happen? This would become 24, this would become 9, this would become 24 obviously, this would become 16. जो निकालना है निकाल लो. What do you want now? क्या चाहिए था? In how much time can B do the job alone? If the three of them together do it in 6 minutes. B alone means that you're talking about, all right, we'll need to make a bit of calculation. If I add this, this and this, so that would be A plus 2B plus C would be equal to 16 plus 9, 25. And you know that A plus B plus C is 24. So it means B's efficiency would be 25 minus 24, that is equal to 1. Right. What do you need to calculate? And how much time can B do the job alone if the three of them together can do it in 6 minutes? So 6 into, what is the total efficiency? 24, and B's efficiency 1 into 24 times is the time that it will take. So that would be equal to 144 minutes. This is the number. This is exactly to be done in the similar in the manner that we did the previous question. Now what you need to know in this is that I should not write this again and again. Why do I not need to write it? I'll just tell you how to do or think of it directly. When you look at this 50%, just try to think with me. I'm talking about two numbers 3 and 2. If I'm talking about two numbers 3 and 2, this obviously would be the efficiency of the bigger number, which is ABC. This would be the efficiency of the smaller number. Can I just think of the efficiency of the gap between ABC and AB? So that is 1. So basically, can I just think of the efficiency of C here directly? That would be 3 minus 2, that's 1. Now what I know is, because this is for me, जैसे सोचो that this is your computer screen, what would you write? You will write 3, 2, 1. What does that mean for you? 3 is the total, 2 is for A and B, and for C it's just left as 1. Look at it like this for the second one. You realize that for B and C it would be 3 and for ABC it will be 8. So what would you write the numbers like? You will write it as 8, 3 and 5. What is this 5 then? The way you got C here, what would you get here? This is BC here. So BC में के बाद में बचता क्या है? It will be A. So it means that this would be for A here. Now what you know is that since this is 3 and this is 8, you need to multiply this system with 8 and this system with 3. So it means what would this become? This would be 5 into 3, 15. So 15 would be the efficiency of A, and this would be, I mean, if you look at this one, what would be the efficiency of C? This is 1 here, but this is to be multiplied with 8 times, so that becomes 8. So A is 15, C is 8. 15 plus 8. This is the number that's there with you. 15 plus 8 is 23, and the total number that you know is 24, because I did this 3 into 8, 24. So what's the efficiency of C? 24 minus 23, that's 1. So when you write, because you would not be able to write here, you just write numbers like this, 3 to 1 from the first one, and you know what we are talking about. This is A plus B plus C, this is AB, and this is only C. From the second one, you will just write 8, 3, 5. So you know this is A plus B plus C, you know that this is BC, and you know that this is A. I need to make these two same. So for that, I will multiply this one with 8 and this one with 3. So when I multiply these systems like that, this first one with 8 and the second one with 3, this number would change, this would become 8, and this number would change, this would become 15. 15 plus 8 is 23, and the total is 24. So you get 1. So you get the total ratio. If you have to think about the total ratio, what would that be? 15 efficiency of A, 1 efficiency of B, 8 efficiency of C. So 15 is to 1 is to 8. And that's how people do it very quickly. There is no other trick. No more formula would come to your rescue over here. All right, the last question for the day. Now try to do it in a similar fashion. It's a very similar question. Do it elegantly. No, Sandeep, that's not right. Vikrant, that's correct. Good. Anand, no, that's not the answer. Dipayan, Yogesh, incorrect. Yes, Akash, that's right. Yes, Akash Ojha. Yeah, you are right. Neeraj, that's correct. Rajiv, no, that's not the answer. Yes, Ashwarya, that's right. Yogesh, Rohit, incorrect. Okay, I'll explain this. Many incorrect answers over here, though this is very similar to the last question. देखो इसमें क्या करना है. This is easier, in fact, I'll say. Look at this part. A and B working together. What are we comparing? AB with ABC? If you're talking about 25% more time, what are the numbers that we are talking about? 5 and 4. So basically, if I talk about efficiencies, A plus B and A plus B plus C. These are the two things in between which we are comparing. So obvious है, if A or B are taking more time, efficiency उनका कम है. So what would be the efficiency of A and B? Has to be 4 together. For A and B, A, B and C, all three, that has to be 5. What is the efficiency of C then? That would be 5 minus 4, that is 1. I mean, the moment you know this, you know one thing, that the efficiency of C would be 1 when ABC would be of when the efficiency of ABC together would be 5. Likewise, what does this last statement tell you? If you are saying
they made a payment of 5500 out of which B gets 1100, that's very clear that the efficiency of B would be 1/5. Since B does 1/5 of the job, B gets 1/5 of the payment. In all these questions, it's implied that the payout is in proportion, it's in sync with your efficiency, it's proportional to your efficiency here. So out of 5 units, if you do 1 unit of work, out of 5 units of payment, you get 1 unit of payment. This is how it works. So this is a simple statement, this last one here, which tells you that the efficiency of B would be 1/5 of the total efficiency. So if A, B, C, the efficiency is 5, efficiency of C is 1, we already know. The efficiency of B is already 1, it becomes 1 from here. What is the efficiency of A? C is 1, B is 1, A would be 5 minus 1 minus 1, that is 3. In this question, you get this ratio of efficiencies extremely quicker than the last one. So you get that as 3:1:1. What's to be done in this? Make use of this statement now. B and C working together take 9 more days as compared to the time taken by A, B and C working together. So if you talk about number of days, what would I compare? Again, this is a comparison between B and C and A, B and C. So what is the efficiency of B and C working together? B and C working together, that's 2. What is the efficiency of A and B and C working together? That's 5, you already know. So when you talk about number of days, this is efficiencies, they would be reversed. So if B and C take 5 days, A, B and C would take 2 days or 2 units of time. If B and C together would take 5 days, they would take 2 days. What would be the difference here between 5 and 2? This is 3 days. Now this is our system here, 5 days taken by A and B, 2 days taken by A, B and C, and the difference is 3 days, but this is not actually 3. What is the difference that's given to you? 9 days. So that is basically the whole thing needs to be multiplied with 3. Then you get the correct number. Now find out whatever needs to be found out. It says in how much time have they completed the job? So he is basically asking ये 2 days कितना है? This is not 2 days. If this 3 days is 9 days basically, so it's multiplied by 3. So even this 2 days would be multiplied by 3. So this becomes 6, or the answer would be 6 days over here. This is easier than the last one because you arrive at this ratio very quickly, and after that there is absolutely nothing in it. So what I did is I found out this part, and after that once you get this thing, you should not be required to do all this. A, B and C 5, B and C it's 2. So what do you know? In terms of number of days or number of units of time taken, it will be reversed. So what you know is this will be 5 and this is 2. So difference is 3, but it's given as 9. So everything would be multiplied with 3. So this 2 would be multiplied with 3 and you get 6. So if I have to do it, how would I think? A and B, A, B and C. So you know that we are talking about 4 and 5 here. This is the number for all 3 and this is the number for A and B. So what's the number for C? 5 minus 4, that becomes 1. From this statement, you know that the number for B is also 1, 1/5 hai. What do you know then? 5 minus 1, the number for A is 3. So you get this ratio of A is to B is to C. Now what is, if you compare, because you have to use this statement now here, you compare between B and C and A, B and C. So B and C total is what? This is 2. A, B and C total is what? 5. What is the difference? It's 3. This 3 here corresponds to this 9 days. This 3 is 9 days. So what would be this 2? This 2 would be equal to 6 days. And this is your answer. Hardly anything to write over there, though it looks like it's a tough question. There is nothing in it. I don't know why many people got this incorrect, though you got the last one right. Probably because of this payment issue and all. I mean, it's the same. It works similar to the manner in which it works in partnership questions. बहुत simple है. इसमें मतलब ज़्यादा you do not think. The effort you put, you get proportional returns. Just that. Okay, yes, so this is probably the first session that I am closing in about 2 hours. It's like what, 2 hours, 2-3 minutes that we have done. Good. Right. So this is it. I'm done with it now. I'm going to meet you on, आज क्या है? Parso, I think we are meeting, yes. So that will be 11th. So we'll take the questions a notch higher. Practice karo, tab tak just do everything, anything from anywhere that you can get hold of. Use the portal of GradeUp, use Affairs Cloud, Aspirant Zone, whatever else comes to your mind. Just do everything from everywhere. Start taking the mock tests. If there is any other issue, just put it in the portal and start solving each other's doubts. I've realized that you are hardly active over there on the portal. None of you is. I mean, Vikrant just keeps answering a few questions. Kirti just keeps answering a few questions. Sadhana at times answers. Saurabh answers. There are just 5, 7, 8 people that I can remember. In the first batch, in the second batch, hardly anybody ever answers over there. Guys, if you do not answer to others' questions, why would they answer to yours? Think about that. It's not an answering machine installed over there. Anyway, it's completely up to you how you want to take this forward from here. You've got the you've got the complete stuff through which you can crack it. Now make good use of it. Start taking the tests. Start ironing out your chinks, and just finish this off. This is just last 2.5 months. They'll be extremely crucial. It's just like 50 days left for the prelims. Start working hard. Make the most of this time. All right, then I'll just wind it up. ठीक है आकाश, but I do not want the forum to die before you get active. That's the only thing. You were active in between, now you stopped responding to people. Ashwar, I did not get your thing. It's too soon means too soon is what's happening too soon? I did not get it. 97 is good, Gaurav. 97% in Mock 2 it's good. Push it to 99, then push it to 99.5, then I'll ask for 99.9. 100 नहीं बोलूँगा, चलो मैं आपको 99.9 तक ले आओ, उस पर ख़त्म कर देंगे. ठीक है, चलो ठीक है, फिर I'll see you day after tomorrow with time and work 2, and in the last session probably I'll try doing some DI kind of questions, time and work, before I've got some stuff to do over here. Fine, so then I'll just then take your leave. We'll see you day after tomorrow. Keep working hard. Wish you guys all the very best. Thank you very much.